Sunday, highs in the mid-60s. From the KTC Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm John.
Before our very eyes.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
I am the incredible man. I only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do. When you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat. Showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me. Cause that's who I am.
You hear them pads going You hear them clicks going 704 beats by Alex J.
Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches. You like the water cooler. You be on the benches. Think your team better, but they lack skill. First snap, I leave your backs in the backfield. Your quarterback scared, I see it in his eyes. Sent the receiver in motion, that's just a disguise. My linebackers, they stepping up. Clog a hole, no letting up. Taking on them big blocks. On fourth down, we get big stops. My secondary is balling out. Your offense keeps stalling out. How many yards? Like none at all. Call the special teams, come punt the ball and it's gone. And you never see me fair catch. I get a block and then I'm gone like a Lear jet. My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win, we just came to win. Win, we just came to win. Friday night lights. Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win. Win. We must protect this house. I'm in a huddle talking to the Hawks. We gonna run it down their throat soon as we get the ball. Come out and fire off the ball, we going on one. My skill position so proficient, break for long runs. Come out running that option. That mean I got the option to keep that or pitch that. Defense, they gotta fix that. 4 receivers, we spread them out in the shotgun. Hot reads, I got some. My tight end, so awesome. Touchdowns, I toss some. We score 6, scoreboard, that score 6. Respect the ball, we protect the ball. We don't fumble, no throw picks. I feed my linemen pancakes, so all they blocks are pancakes. Push you around like all night. End of the game, get your handshakes, huh? My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win. Win. We just came to win. Friday night lights. Friday night lights. Win. We just came to win. Win. We must protect this house.
And good evening. Welcome to another Friday Night Football here on KTC Broadcastings and our Witherspoon Insurance for Shelby pregame show with Kevin Hastings, Ken Link, JP in the studio. That's all I got for you.
It's just us tonight, JP. Good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby, Western North Carolina pregame football show. I'm Kevin Hastings, along with Ken Link tonight. Brian Branch is out of town. He may call in here in just a little bit. We're going to talk to some of our folks, some of our other broadcasters here in just a little bit. We got a big night tonight, and as some of the folks said on last week's postgame show, that'll be coming up tonight as well from 10 p.m. to midnight in the Full Throttle Power Sports postgame show. Tonight, Ken, is when the playoffs start.
Playoffs?
We had 1A. I mean, we're not 1A. We had some blowouts. We had some buys, but now you've earned your way here. You've won a game or two, and this is where the rubber meets the road. And we've got Western North Carolina semifinals this week, and then we'll talk what goes on or next week or quarterfinals, one of those two. And then we've got, like I said, but we cover the Western teams here. If you're listening to the radio, you can tune in on YouTube and watch and listen to that as well on YouTube every Friday night on this show and our other shows coming up tonight. We're going to tell you all about those shows here in just a little bit. And we've got a big night of games. We've got 4 games here on KTC Broadcasting, and just all kinds of fun tonight here. I just want to welcome Ken and JP and everybody here tonight on the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby Prep pregame show. Let's see. We're going to go over all the games here in just a minute. Our broadcast games tonight. We've got Thomas Jefferson at South Davidson. You can listen to that game on WAGY 107.5 FM, 1320 AM in Rutherford County, and you can watch that game as well. We'll have live video broadcast of Thomas Jefferson at South Davidson tonight. Also, we'll have live video broadcast of the Burns Bulldogs at the Brevard Blue Devils tonight. Burns at Brevard. Tom and Matt and Trent and the gang is going to have that covered for us. We'll have live on that one. That game will also be, if you're listening on 92.9 FM right now to this broadcast, and you hear my voice, also on 1590 AM, you'll get the Burns Bulldogs at Brevard Blue Devils tonight on 92.9 FM. On WHS 101.5 FM, 1390 AM, the Shelby Golden Lions are on the road to the Mount Airy Granite Bears. Brent and Jeff's going to be, and Jacardi's going to be out there sitting in the stands. Ken, they don't have a big press box, so they said they don't have room for us, but we're going to be set up in the stands, and hopefully they'll stay warm. I forgot to give them extra hand warmers. I got a whole box of hand warmers if somebody else needs them tonight, but I forgot to put them in their bag. So sorry to Brent and Jeff, and I hope you guys brought your own hand warmers. If they're smart, they've got one of those heated coats or a heated blanket heated blanket.
At least the weather's not too bad, but
no, it is
up in the mountains. A little cooler.
Yeah, they're gonna be a Mount Airy.
They're a little cooler up there. So.
A little than we are here. So we got that game. If you're listening to my voice right now on 101.5 FM or 1390 AM, you'll hear the Shelby Golden Lions and the Mount Airy Granite Bears. And then tonight on online on audio only. You can listen to the East Lincoln game and the Crest game on YouTube. You can listen to the East Lincoln announcing team, and the Crest announcing team, whichever team you're pulling for, and you want to get your biased announcer, you can listen to that game. We'll also have highlights of that game. We'll also have highlights of Shelby and Mount Airy, Maiden and Newton Conover. We'll have highlights of tonight, and then of course we'll slip in and check on all the games live during the Red Zone radio show from 7:30 to 9:45 tonight. Tune into that for live scores, live highlights. We'll go out to the fields and check on those after they go. Well, not live, after the highlights, after they score, and check on our reports from across the state of North Carolina. So if you're at any of these games, you got somebody at the games and they get it, and they get a touchdown or highlight, tag us in it, and we'll show you there on the post-game show in Red Zone. And also, if you got great shot or a video of your band tonight you want to share with us, we love to play the band in the background while we run our mouths here on the pre-games and post-game shows, and let the bands play over the radio. And also videos, cheerleaders, fans, anybody else you guys want to see us, we'll put you on the post-game show as well on Twitter. Tag us on Twitter at KTC Broadcasting and at What's Up Shopper. That's where you can find our highlights and our reporters at the game. So I think I got all the details covered, Ken. And while I talked a lot, that means you're going to have to read all these games here in just a second.
All right.
I'll start in the 1A. So next week, Ken, for the folks that don't know, I'm going to pull up my show here at home. That is not what I meant to do. There we go. All right, so you guys can see at home. All right, so we good. All right, so for the folks at home that are watching live on the on YouTube, you can see the brackets there. These are the Western brackets, and then of course the teams that are the games that are touching each other will go on to play each other. For example, in the 2A there, the winner of Community School of Davidson and Murphy will play the winner of Corvion and East Wilkes. So we're going to go through these games. Interesting next week, Ken, the 1As and the 8As have a bye.
Yeah, because they
got another bye. So bye in the first round, then they got bye in the fourth round.
Yeah.
And East Columbus tonight, Ken, we'll start there, is going to Robbinsville. And for the folks wondering about that, East Columbus, Ken, is just slightly west of Wilmington. In fact, you type in East Columbus in your map here sitting in Cherryville, it goes to East Columbus, Ohio, before it even gets to East Columbus High School.
Oh, my goodness.
In Lake Waccamaw, 32 Gator Lanes in Lake Waccamaw, North Carolina. So they'll be traveling tonight to Robbinsville, and that from here, East Columbus is 3.5 hours. But Ken, to Robbinsville, it's 135 miles, 6 hours and 2 minutes.
Wow.
So East Columbus travels from Robbinsville all the way. I mean, from basically 20 minutes outside of Wilmington. So wherever the western line is, Ken, when we draw those lines in class, the longitude, latitudes, this one ended up just slightly west of Wilmington. Basically, it's the ocean is the line for that one. So in the winter,
that's amazing. Somebody that far east.
Well, remember a few years back,
West.
we had when it was Big A, Small A, we had Cherryville and Bessemer back-to-back weeks had to play Whiteville.
Yeah.
So we just stayed at the beach that one weekend. We did. It was 30 minutes down to the hotel. All right. They play the winner of Jefferson and South Davidson, and then the AA West Forsyth will play at Huff tonight, and they'll play the winner of Myers Park and West Charlotte. And Ken, I got to go down home and do some little work. I'll let you handle the rest probably until I get back.
Okay.
And go ahead and read the times. Folks, these are our guessing times, our broadcast games, or we know those are official. So you can say the official times on our broadcast, Ken, but the other ones are max prep times, and sometimes those are right, sometimes those are wrong.
Okay. All right, here we go. In the 2A tonight, Community School of Davidson Spartans travel to play the Murphy Bulldogs. That's a 7:30 game. Corvion Community Cardinals are at the East Wilkes Cardinals, 7 p.m. game. Mountain Island Raptors at Mitchell Mountaineers, 7 p.m. game. South Stanley Rowdy Rebel Bulls, 7 p.m. game at Starmount. And that's your 2A in the West tonight. Go over to 3A. You got the Lincoln Wolves traveling up to the mountains for a 7:30 game against Mountain Heritage Cougars. West Davidson Dragons, 7 p.m. game against North Stanley Comets. And the winner of those two games, of course, will meet next week. Walkertown Wolfpack, 7:30 game against Eastern Randolph Wildcats. And Shelby Golden Lions, 7 p.m. game, traveling up to playing the Mountain Area Granite Bears. And, of course, the winners of those two games will play next week. Over to 4A. Our Burns Bulldogs, 7:30 game at Brevard Blue Devils. There's a lot of our area teams are traveling up in the mountains. 7:30 game. Mount Pleasant Tigers, a 7:30 game at Miss Pisgah Bears. And those two winners play next week. And the other half of that 4A on the western side, Mountain Blue Devils, the Maiden Blue Devils, 7:30 game against conference rival Newton Conover Red Devils. And the Kramer Storm, a 7:30 game at Highbright. And the winners of those two will play next week in the 4A bracket. Go over to the 5A bracket. Monroe Redhawks, 7 p.m. game at South Point Red Raiders. And a big game in 5A tonight, East Lincoln Mustangs, 7:30 game at the Crest Chargers. And the winner of that East Lincoln Crest game will play the winner of the Monroe South Point game next week. 7 o'clock game, Franklin Panthers at the Hickory Red Tornadoes. And the other game in 5A, Oak Grove Grizzlies, 7 p.m. game against the Robertson Bulldogs. Over to the 6A, Charlotte Catholic Cougars play at Watauga Pioneers in 7:30 game. Sun Valley Spartans in a 7:30 game against the Freedom Patriots. And the other 6A games tonight, Dudley Panthers, 7 p.m. game against the Ashbrook Green Wave. And the Kings Mountain Mountaineers, 7 p.m. game against the Northern Guilford Nighthawks. Over to the 7A. You got Jack Britt Buccaneers. All these are 7 p.m. games in 7A. Jack Britt Buccaneers playing Grimsby Whirlies. The Reagan Raiders at the Mooresville Blue Devils. The Richmond Spiders at the Independent Patriots. And the Lake Norman Wildcats at the Weddington Warriors. And that's all the games that's being played tonight on the western side. I looked at some of these conferences, and when you look at the conferences, you can always point out strong teams in each conference, teams that's not so strong. And you can argue about what conference is better, what conference is tough. But, folks, when you get to the third round of the playoffs, you can sort of look and see in the conferences how many teams are left still playing in the third round. And in our area, first of all, in the Southern Piedmont 2A, 3A, 4A, we still have 4 teams tonight playing in the third round. Lincoln Woods, Shelby Lions, Burns Bulldogs, and Stewart Kramer. All those are still alive in the third round. Also, in the Big South 5A, 6A, again, 4 teams still around in the third round. Ashbrook, Crest, South Point, and Kings Mountain. And in the Western Foothills, again, 4 teams left. East Lincoln, Hickory, Maiden, and Newton Conroe. That's just to say that shows you how strong these conferences are, that they still have 4 teams playing in the third round.
All right, Ken, did you make it through?
I did.
All right. We'll be back in a few minutes here on KDCBroadcasting.com.
Sandy's Country Christmas, 2536 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, is the place to go for all your fall and holiday decor. Check out their huge selection of silk flowers, autumn leaves, fall and yard signs. And since Thanksgiving and Christmas are right around the corner, Sandy's Country Christmas has extended their shopping hours. Now open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Go by and check out their holiday inventory. They have artificial Christmas trees, wrapping paper and ribbon, gift bags, holiday wreaths, table decorations, tree ornaments, and more. So visit Sandy's Country Christmas and get some great deals. You'll be glad you did.
Do you need health insurance coverage? Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby can help with that. Witherspoon Insurance Agency offers affordable health insurance to protect you and your family. Let their experienced agents help you through the hassle of applying to the current health insurance marketplace plans. Open enrollment runs now through January 15, 2026. Call 704-480-9595 and ask for Justin or Sarah. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Online at witherspooninsurance.com. Is your garage door not operating correctly, or it may be completely broken? If so, call Cleveland County Garage Doors. Cleveland County Garage Doors is family owned and operated, where you get honest and dependable service. They offer great deals on door-link garage doors, and service calls start at $75. Just call C.J. Waters at Cleveland County Garage Doors for service and installation. Call 704-472-9367. Again, 704-472-9367. And see them on Facebook at CC Garage Doors. No matter the temperature outside, you'll be warm and cozy inside with T&M Services of Lincoln. T&M Services specializes in all aspects of heating and cooling in residential homes and commercial properties. Just give them a call at 704-240-9920. Again, 704-240-9920 for T&M Services, 606 Center Drive in Lincoln. Visit the website at tmserviceshvac.com. And be sure to like them on Facebook, too. Keep warm in the winter, cool in the summer with T&M Services of Lincoln. Fall is here and Thanksgiving is near. Come into Holly's Flowers and let them create a beautiful centerpiece for your dinner table. They have a vast array of beautiful fall flowers and potted plants and unique gift items. So make your day or someone else's day brighter, or simply give a gift of flowers in thanks to someone special. Visit Holly's Flowers in historic Uptown Shelby and check them out. They're located at 109 East Graham Street, or give them a call at 704-487-2330. Happy Thanksgiving from Holly's Flowers.
Come play at Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Course on RT Road in Lattimore. It's a privately owned course with memberships available, and it's open to the public every day from sunrise to sunset. Enjoy 2 18-hole disc golf courses and try out their disc golf driving range. Cost is $10 all day. For more information, call 704-477-3175 or visit their website at wolfmanwoods.com. Come play today.
Pfeiffer's Cafe and Confections is the place to go in Uptown Shelby for a delicious lunch. They offer salads, sandwiches, burgers, soups, quiche, and more. Their in-house bakery has an extensive choice of cakes, cookies, and pie. And oh my, with the holidays fast approaching, you'll find scrumptious flavors of homemade fudge, specialty chocolates, and much more. And check out their ice cream parlor. With 26 flavors, they make the best milkshakes in town. Visit Pfeiffer's Cafe and Confections at 116 East Warren Street. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 3, Friday nights, 5 till 8. You'll be glad you did. The holidays are just around the corner, and with them come basketball season. Webb Chemical and Paper Company wants to wish all the basketball teams a great year. Webb Chemical and Paper Company is the place to go for all of your janitorial and cleaning supplies and disposable paper products. You'll find great prices and great service, and they offer products in bulk. Family owned and operated for over 49 years, their friendly, helpful staff will assist you with all of your product needs. Webb Chemical and Paper is conveniently located at 2500 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Stop by and see them or call 704-482-4331. Check them out on the web at webchemicalandpaper.com.
And we're back on the Witherspoon Insurance Shelby pregame show with Kevin and Ken. And we have a phone caller, if I hit all the buttons correctly.
All right, we think we hit all the buttons correctly. Do we have David on the phone?
I am here. So Scott.
David Potter on the phone. He's with Scott Tudor on their way out to Crest tonight to broadcast our game live on LincolnCounty.com for you Lincoln County folks. You hear David call in on Friday nights. We asked he just stopped by just the studios a moment ago, and we asked him to call in and tell us a little bit about the Lincoln County side of this matchup. Maybe he might know some news and notes. You talked to Coach Lebowitz during the week, and you know. You guys have a little pregame interview to play on your show, but give us a little preview of what he had to say about the Mustangs and the Chargers matchup this week.
Well, he was looking forward to it. I mean, he thought this was probably going to be the marquee game, at least in this area and possibly North Carolina. I mean, you've got two teams that have had great success in the playoffs lately. East Lincoln winning a title 3 years ago. Crest has always gone deep in the playoffs, so amazingly, this is the first time these schools have ever played.
I heard him say that, and I was like, wow, that is amazing.
And both schools were built around 67, 68, and they're only an hour apart.
And their middle school teams have been in the same conference for years.
That's interesting.
You there, David?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I got you. Sorry, I thought I lost you for a second. Yep, there you go. So, what as far as their matchups and everything, what do you guys see? Is we've got here in our power poll, and one of the things we do look at is the defense. Is East Lincoln defense give up 204 on the season, and Crest at 122. Both teams putting a lot of points on the board. How do you see these the East Lincoln defense? A lot of people have been asking matching up tonight.
I think the East Lincoln defense will be fine. They may have an advantage on the defensive line. Chris Wilson was their homecoming king, and he's the nose guard, and he really clogs up the middle. And that frees up players like Caleb Waffer, who, what do you have, 6 tackles for loss last week? He was all over the place. It got to the point it was like untackled by you-know-who at this point. He played great. He's been playing well for them all year. Their defensive backs have done a pretty good job, but, I mean, they're not as talented a group as what you'll get from Crest. Crest has got 3 Division I DBs, and their defense is the one to watch because they've created 26 turnovers this year, 13 fumbles and 13 interceptions.
David Ken Link here. Let me ask you this question. Jackson Dollar, I know that he's done a lot on offense, but I've been hearing he's been making a lot of noise on the defensive side. Does he mostly play defensive end, or they move him around, or what?
He's pretty much a linebacker.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Jackson Dollar,
defensive end. Yeah, he kind of plays opposite Loffer.
Okay.
So they got 2 guys that got some height and they can get after it. And kind of just block the vision of the quarterback a lot of the times. And they got the speed to get out, and if there's any wide receiver screens or quick passes, bubble screens, they can get out and get to it. So those 2 guys, not only get after the quarterback, they can get after anything that goes out into the flat.
Well, we're expecting to see a lot of points put on the board tonight. Both these teams are pretty powerful, and like you say, that'll be a good matchup. Those good DBs on the Crest side trying to stop Grant Lawlerson and Dollar and the receivers out there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's amazing how similar these teams are. They both, what video I've seen of them, they like to throw the ball around, but they can both rush it pretty well. Good speed out on the perimeter for both teams. And the time we always this could be one of those games where you go, oh, this is going to be a high-scoring affair. The next thing you know, it's 14-7.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
And you're talking about 3 years ago when East Lincoln won that state championship, and I remember they come over to play Kings Mountain as heavy underdogs and put on an unbelievable show. So I wonder if they got anything in the tank tonight to pull another upset against Crest.
And also, real quick, David, don't forget, Kings Mountain's coach then is now Crest coach at Kings.
Exactly. I was just about to point that out. It was Greg Lloyd.
So it is a maybe a all the players are different, obviously, but it may be a familiar matchup for both of them, and maybe they both have a little insight on both teams. But go ahead, let you punt kid on that one.
Well, the big thing from that game was East saw a vulnerability where Kings Mountain liked to put a lot of people up on the line of scrimmage. So if they were able to just get a hole, and that was back when they had Chris Daly, and he went off on him. He had a 80-yard touchdown, and he had a 50-yard touchdown, and then there was a 45-yard punt return, and then the quarterback and Markel Clark hooked up on a 94-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I remember it seemed like they'd break the line of scrimmage, and there just was nobody there. Once they broke the line of scrimmage, it's all green
Everybody
grass.
was too tight, and they didn't make an adjustment, and East just I guess East figured, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going to keep running that play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, David, any other final thoughts before you get out of here? You guys get on, keep on being safe on the way to Crest.
We will, and I'm looking forward to what could be a really good ball game between 2 great teams.
All right, folks, for you Lincoln County fans out there, you can listen to David and Scott from the Lincoln County perspective live on YouTube. Coming up here, the pregame start for them start at 7. Thank you, David. Y'all be careful.
All right, thank you.
All right, David Potter and Scott Tudor broadcasting the game tonight over at Crest for our Lincoln County game of the week this week. The East Lincoln Mustangs and the Crest Chargers. They've been following the Mustangs for quite a few years now through state championships and other rides. So here we are tonight. Got a big game That's right. We'll have that live on YouTube here. Go to KDC Broadcasting for all the links to all the games on the homepage. Click on the game of the team you want to listen to, and it'll take you straight to that broadcast. Hit play and listen to that live. We come back, we're going to talk our PowerPoint standings. We got 19 teams still alive in the PowerPoints, and we're going to talk about that more here on KDCBroadcasting.com.
You're listening to The Boss, WHS, Shelby, North Carolina, your beach oldies and sports stations. Online at KDCBroadcasting.com.
From the KTC Broadcasting Weather Center, here's your forecast for Cleveland and Gaston counties. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 60. A chance of showers Saturday morning, then mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. For Saturday night, partly cloudy, lows in the upper 40s. Sunshine on Sunday, highs in the mid-60s. From the KTC Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Johnny Cottle for WOHS and WCSL.
Currently from the KTC Broadcasting Studios, it's...
Do you need health insurance coverage? Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby can help with that. Witherspoon Insurance Agency offers affordable health insurance to protect you and your family. Let their experienced agents help you through the hassle of applying to the current health insurance marketplace plans. Open enrollment runs now through January 15, 2026. Call 704-480-9595 and ask for Justin or Sarah. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com. Listen up. Ronaldo Honda and Ronaldo Kia have new ownership. It's now Shelby Honda and Shelby Kia. And new owners Carl Rossetti and Mason Morris invite you to come by and meet them. They want to be a part of our community, living here and working here just like you. Come by and see Carl and Mason about your new Honda or Kia. With 0% financing available and credit, well, that's no problem. Plus, check out their selection of pre-owned vehicles. Meet Carl and Mason today at the all-new Shelby Honda and Shelby Kia, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
The next hour of music is being brought to you by TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Ride free by calling 704-482-6465. Again, ride free by calling 704-482-6465. For TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Bringing you this hour of true oldies on The Boss.
I'm Calvin Hastings, and I would like to invite you to join myself along with Captain Ron as we broadcast live this Saturday during Small Town Christmas in downtown Fallston. We'll be there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Main Street next to Jumpin' Jeds and Cool Cycles. We'll be playing Christmas music up and down Main Street all day long. And come by our booth and register to win some great prizes too. There will be wagon rides, food trucks, hourly drawings, live music, and of course, Santa Claus. This year's event brought to you in part by Back Road Pickers, Jan's Restaurant, the Fallston Community Mart, Camacho's Mini Farm Acres, Wright's Jewelry, Tops Pizza and Pasta, Whitetail Properties, Above the Bar Dance and Gymnastics Academy, Cool Cycle, Jumpin' Jets, Nerisi Power Sports, Oliver's Hardware and Garden Center, Wild Bird Treasures, Parker Family Feed, JB Drone Solutions, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home, and the Town of Fallston. Small Town Christmas this Saturday, November 22nd, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in beautiful downtown Fallston. This year's event in memory of Doris Weaver. Listen up. Medicare Open Enrollment and Golden Solutions want to help. They have all the answers and are right here in Shelby. Call Claudia Vaughn today at 704-477-1426 for Medicare. People new to Medicare or who are renewing their Medicare, it runs now through December 7th. Open enrollment for North Carolina state employees runs through October 31st. And under 65 enrollment runs November 1st through January 15th. Golden Solutions is your local expert when it comes to your Medicare and health care. They represent all the major insurance carriers and are the experts when it comes to customizing a plan for you. Call Claudia Vaughn today, 704-477-1426.
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
And we're back on the Witherspoon Church Shelby pregame show with Kevin, Ken, and Chip Carter has now joined us in the studio. And as always, JP.
Hey, good job, JP. Welcome to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show. Chip's made it in the house, so he's going to go through and read the games for him with Ken and tell you who all is playing who tonight. These times are estimated by Max Preps, of course, always. And but our games are for sure the times. So, Chip, you can say our games for sure. The rest of them are what Max Preps says and we think might be right. But I'll let you have that. And
anybody's guess.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right, good deal, Kenny. I'll start on the left hand side here, and we can kind of trade off. I'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 5. Well, I guess. Well, okay, we've got them bounced around. We got. There's no. I see the how they're mixed up now. I'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'll let you do 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll have to bounce around a little bit. All right. In the 1A, we've got East Columbus, the Gators. Like University of Florida there. East Columbus travels to Robbinsville. That's got to be a bit of a drive.
Kevin said 6 hours.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a little bit of a haul for them to get to Robbinsville, but they take on the Black Knights. And then the Griffins of Thomas Jefferson head to South Davidson to take on the Wildcats. That was, I guess they got motivated by the local college, I guess, South Davidson Wildcats there. But Thomas Jefferson heads up 85 to go take on South Davidson, I guess 77. They start at 85 and then get on to 77. But then they'll head that way. Those are the two 1A matchups that we have on this side of the state. Looking at the 2A, we've got the Community School of Davidson travels to Murphy. You can't get much farther west without getting into Tennessee going to Murphy. They take on the Bulldogs. That game time set for 7:30. The two 1A games that I mentioned previously, both tentatively scheduled for 7 p.m., based on what we see from Max Preps, as Kevin was mentioning. Back to the 2A, again, that Community School of Davidson Murphy games at 7:30. Rest of these 2A games are what we saw are at 7 p.m. Corvian Community travels to East Wilkes to take on the Cardinals. The Mountain Island Raptors, Mountain Island Charter, head to Mitchell to take on the Mountaineers. And South Stanley, the Rowdy Rebel Bulls, head to Starmount to take on the Rams this evening. So that's the 2A matchups on the west side of the state. Looking over at the 3A now, Lincolnton has got going to have their hands full this evening as they travel to Mountain Heritage. Ken, we talked about them a little bit. We'll get into more detail about the Cougars here in a little while. But Lincolnton heads to Mountain Heritage, so that ought to be. Everybody's talking about. I know everybody's talking about East Lincoln and Crest, but I tell you what, Lincolnton Mountain Heritage, I think that could be a very good game.
I agree with you.
So and then looking down next game, the Lincolnton Mountain Heritage game is scheduled for 7:30. Kevin's favorite mascot, the West Davidson Dragons, they travel to North Stanley to take on the Comets. That game's set for 7 p.m. You got Walkertown heading to Eastern Randolph, take on the Wildcats. That game's set for 7:30. And the Shelby Golden Lions, they head up 77, almost plumb into Virginia to take on Mount Airy. Two storied programs in this side of the state, on this side of the state, or in the state period. We'll see who comes out on top this evening. But the Golden Lions head up to take on the Granite Bears of Mount Airy. I don't think Coach Steve Degree is going to make it back for the postgame show coming back from Mount Airy.
Probably not.
Yeah, but we'll see. So, and then looking at the 4A, the Burns Bulldogs will travel up the mountain to Brevard. Tom, I hope they treat y'all with some civility and and take good care of y'all this evening. But the Bulldogs head up to Brevard to take on the undefeated Blue Devils. See if Burns can spoil the Brevard season. You got Mount Pleasant heading to Pisgah. They'll head over to Haywood County. Both of those games are at 7:30. Also 7:30, the Maiden Blue Devils head over to Newton Conover. Ken, I think you said that's a conference matchup, isn't it? That's a conference showdown.
Sure is.
All right, so we see how those two teams match up here in the playoffs. And then also at 7:30, Stuart Kramer heads over to High Brighton. Ken, I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, over in the 5A tonight, the Monroe Redhawks took over to play the South Point Red Raiders, a 7 p.m. game. A 7:30 game, a huge matchup. East Lincoln Mustangs travel over to play the Crest Chargers. And these next two games in 5A are 7 p.m. games. Franklin Panthers at the Hickory Red Tornadoes. Oak Grove Grizzlies at the Robeson Bulldogs. And over in 6A, Charlotte Catholic Cougars in a 7:30 game against the Watauga Pioneers.
I wouldn't mind watching that game. That I bet there's going to be a lot of firepower in that game.
There is, and even though Watauga's got a much better record, Charlotte Catholic's always tough.
Yeah,
so it'll be a good game.
They've said Catholics have had a little bit of a down year for their standards.
Yeah.
But their down years, most schools good years. So we'll see how that game plays out.
And another 7:30 game, Sun Valley Spartans traveled to play the Freedom Patriots. 2 7 o'clock games on 6A tonight. Dudley Panthers at the Ashbrook Green Wave. And then Kings Mountain Mountaineers travel over to play the Northern Guilford Nighthawks. And over to 7A, Jack Britt Buccaneers are at the Grimsley Whirlies. All of these games in 7A are 7 p.m. games. Reagan Raiders are at Mooresville Blue Devils. The Richmond Raiders are at the Independence Patriots. And the Lake Norman Wildcats are at the – got it right here.
Weddington.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so over in 8A, we have the West Forsyth Titans against the Huff Huskies and the Myers Park Mustangs at the West Charlotte Lions.
Sorry about that. You got interrupted by the little boy.
We're trying to see if Ken had these memorized by now.
We're trying to get him to say bad picks.
Yes.
This microphone so bad, but he just says no to us. Can you say hey tonight? Little Bear don't want to say hey tonight. Little Baron's with us tonight. My little son, he's 3 years old. For the folks watching online, he's
smartest guy in the room now.
Well, he's somebody told him no down the hall, so that's what he's doing. Is telling me somebody told. I don't know who told him no. His mama or daddy or sissy. No, it ain't Dad. Daddy's right. Or Pop. Did Pop tell you no? I know he didn't tell you no.
He didn't.
Well, what happened? Well, we got we're hitting all the buttons. Okay, that's what happened.
Trying to.
The red button.
All right, folks, it's about time for the top 10.
The red button.
For the folks listening at home, we've got we've got our PowerPoint standings, and you get points. You get points on wins and losses. For beating a 1A, you get 1 point, a 4A 4 point, a 6A 6 points, and an 8A 8 points. So keep up that way. But you also lose points. If you lose to a 8A, you don't lose any points. You lose to a 7A, you lose 1. So it's reverse points all the way down to losing to a 2A, you lose 6 points, and a 1A 7 points. Once you've been knocked out of the playoffs, you are eliminated until further notice, but you can keep climbing back up through the PowerPoints based on who loses in front of you. You keep winning and win the state championship, you'll stay alive and on top there in the PowerPoints standings. So interesting. We talked about the seedings there in that 5A bracket. Who came out on top in our seedings? If we were seedings, Hickory would be 1, East 2, Crest 3, and South Point 4. But according to the state, it came out a little bit different on that one. So it ended up being a little bit different. But we've got I'm trying to pull that up for the folks at home. I'll let Chip read the first 5 eliminated teams so far in the top 25. So we've got 19 active teams still alive, folks, here in the playoffs. The teams that we do cover, for the folks wondering, Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln counties, plus the conferences that they're in. So we have 6 conferences and 48 teams to rank. So, all right, Chip, I'll let you take 25 through 21.
So these schools have all been eliminated, but they, based on the PowerPoints, this is where they would be. So 25 right now, Christ the King, 4 PowerPoints, 7-4 record. Defensive, is that points given up?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
Giving up 232 points. RS Central comes in at 24. They had 5 PowerPoints, 500 record, 6-6, giving up 295 points on the year. West Iredale's 23rd, 8 PowerPoints, also 500 record, 6-6, with giving up 260 points. It's Bandy's coming in at 22nd. They had 10 PowerPoints. Good season, Bandy's. They just ran into a buzzsaw last week, I think, or early in the playoffs. But 10 PowerPoints, 7-5 record. They did give up 374 points this year defensively. And then Hunter Huss at 21st with 12 PowerPoints, 5-6 record, giving up 296 points defensively. So that's 25 through 21. We'll see. We'll check and see if
Chip got 20 through 16. Now, one team is eliminated. They were last week. Ken.
Okay, 20, East Rutherford, who was eliminated, 25 power points, a 9-2 record, allowed 198 points. Then we get to the teams that are still active in the playoffs, in the standings. Number 19, Thomas Jefferson, 29 minus 29 power points, 5-6 record, 262 points allowed. 18, Mountain Island, a minus 13 power points, 7.5 record, 276 points allowed. And number 17, Burns Bulldogs, 7 power points, 7-4 record, 233 points allowed. And College School of Davidson, 7 power points, coming in at number 18 with a 7-4 record, 181 points allowed.
Now, for the folks wondering about, Jefferson will not finish 19 if they lost tonight. They would actually jump back to at minus 29, but they would be the number 39 team in the power poll if they lost tonight. You don't lose any points in the playoffs, but you do gain points. So they do have an opportunity to win out and be atop of the power poll if they were the state champions and no one else won the state champion. But if you do lose, you jump back in order of where you are in the power points. You don't claim the 19th spot over East Rutherford, and you're down 49 points to McKeon. So that's how that's going to work. So for the folks, don't worry for East Rutherford fans. You're going to climb up in the poll. You'll end up somewhere. Well, if nobody can lose any points, the highest you can be would be up to 10 if Kramer and Lincoln were both to lose tonight. But somewhere 10 through 15 is where you'll end up, you East Rutherford Cavaliers fans. All right, Chip, I'll let you say 15 through 11.
All right, 15. We got South Stanley, 14 power points, 9-2 record. They've given up 124 points on the year. That's pretty, I think, Kevin, correct, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Generally, our kind of benchmark going into the playoffs is if you can keep your defense giving up around 100 points or less.
And they're in the 2A, but they're at Starmount tonight.
Yeah, so. that's good luck with that.
It's tough.
Yeah,
tough game.
That was they followed up Starmounts who put Cherryville out last week, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah, so but South Stanley's 15th, the 14th. We've got Maiden, 16 power points. They got a 7-4 record. They've given up 236 points this year. Coming in 13th, you've got the Golden Lions of Shelby, 18 power points, that 9-3 record. They've given up 247 points this year. They're seasoned team. I'm sure we'll talk more about them as we start breaking down, looking at some of these games. We did North Stanley at 15th. 12th is South Stanley's 15th. 12th, North Stanley with 19 power points, 10-1 on the season. They've given up less than 200 points, 195 points on defense. And then 11th, you've got Lincolnton, 22 power points. They are 9-2 on the season and giving up 211 points on defense.
Now, Lincoln give up 3 less points to Stuart Kramer, but Kramer beat them. So the Storm gets the number 10 spot. Ken, I'll let you take 10 through 6.
Okay, number 10, Stuart Kramer, 22 power points, 9-2 record, 214 points allowed. Coming in at number 9, Kings Mountain Mountaineers, 28 power points, 8-4 record, 301 points allowed. Coming in at number 8, Newton Conover, 31 power points, a 9-2 record, 282 points allowed. Coming in at number 7, Corvion, 31 power points, a 9-1 record, only allowed 92 points. Coming in at number 6, High Brighton, 34 power points, 10-1 record, 188 points allowed.
And Corvion and South Stanley met each other. It'd be a team giving up 11 points versus a team giving up 9 points on defense in 2 more rounds. So there you could have that matchup. How about the top 5? Like we just told you a minute ago, if you were paying attention, I told you the order. South Point is 5, 37 power points, 9-2. They give up 151 the season. Crest is number 4, 41 power points. They're 9-2. They give up 122 in the season. East Lincoln's got those 3 spots, so we got 3 versus 4 tonight. 44 power points for East Lincoln, 10-1. They give up 204 on defense. Hickory's got 2 less power points, but when you're next to each other in the standings, you get that spot if you beat that team. Head-to-head matchups that Miami and Notre Dame fans don't want to talk about tomorrow on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. We'll talk about that tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. But in our league, the head-to-head matchups matter, and Hickory gets the 2 spot. But it doesn't matter because Ashbrook's way ahead of everybody right now. 62 power points on the season, 11-0 on the season. They've only given up in 11 games, 111 point. I want to say that wrong. 116 points.
There you go.
I was going to do the math.
116.
I was going to do the math and say it total all in one sentence, and it didn't work. All right, there's your power point standings. Ashbrook 1, Hickory 2, East Lincoln 3, Crest 4, South Point 5. We're going to have some teams knocked out this week. Last year, I think it was, or the year before, Chip and Ken, we had a bloody Friday, and when the whole thing ended, in except for at one night, except for one team.
Yeah.
We've got 19 teams alive. Me and Ken did some math on it. if everything goes terribly wrong, Chip, we could only have 2 teams left going in
Wow.
next week. So we could have 17 of 19 teams.
We're at least going to have either East Lincoln or Crest available next week. One of those teams will be
Maiden
there.
or Newton Conover.
That's right. Yeah,
So that's what I said. We got at least we can be as low as we can have as high as 17 teams next week, or we just have as low as 2 teams next week.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk Brian Branch, do predictions, and it's Pete's Fish Box time. Fish Box in Cherryville, Frog Leg Fridays. We're about to go get our fish. We'll be right back on KTCBroadcasting.com.
At McKinney Insurance in Shelby, they want you to know that not all insurance agencies are created equal. They go out of their way to treat their clients like people and use their combined experience of over 50 years to protect what you value most in life. McKinney Insurance is an authorized Erie insurance agency that can help you with your personal business, life, and motorcycle insurance. For your free quote, call or come by today, 113 North Lafayette Street in Shelby. Call 704-481-7522. That's 704-481-7522. DeRisi Power Sports wants to wish the Burns Bulldogs good luck during this year's football season. DeRisi Power Sports is your go-to for ATV and UTV parts, services, and accessories. If your ATV needs service, bring it on in. DeRisi Power Sports is not just for professional ATV riders. If yours is in need of minor service, like a tune-up, oil change, or any other service, bring it on in. DeRisi Power Sports will service it at affordable pricing and expert service. DeRisi Power Sports, 4225 Falston Road, or call 704-638-3512. Go Burns Bulldogs.
Someone will once again win a $1,000 Christmas shopping spree, and it could be you. The drawing will be held on Monday, December 22nd. Register today at one of our local sponsors, including Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain, at Southern Rentals, Highway 180 North in Shelby, at Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks, South Main Street in Lowell, at Gage Pool and Spa on Union Road, Gastonia, at Butler's Tire on East King Street in Kings Mountain, at Kimball's Furniture on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Carpet One Interiors on East Ozark Avenue in Ranlow, at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at the Substation 2, South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and at Arnold's Jewelry, South Washington Street in Shelby. The $1,000 Christmas shopping spree, brought to you by KTC Broadcasting and WhatsUpShopper.com. For a complete list of sponsors, go to WhatsUpShopper.com.
Jumpin' Jed's in downtown Falston invites you to Small Town Christmas this Saturday, November 22nd, starting at 9 a.m. And be sure to come to Jumpin' Jed's for some great sales, including some big doorbusters. Be sure to register for holiday drawings and to win their huge Christmas gift basket valued at over $300, plus delicious tastings, hot apple cider, and free gift wrapping too. And on the porch and grounds, enjoy Keepsake Company's photo booth, DeRisi Power Sports, T-Man Woodworks, Gabe Peanut Pot, New Beginnings Church handing out beautiful ornaments. Also, woodcarver Steve Duncan, author Julia Duncan, and John Mason will be there playing the hammered dulcimer. Now that's a lot of fun going on. So head on into Jumpin' Jed's during Small Town Christmas starting at 9 a.m. this Saturday, November 22nd on Main Street, downtown Falston. Y'all come. It'll be fun. The holidays are just around the corner, and with them comes basketball season. Webb Chemical and Paper Company wants to wish all the basketball teams a great year. Webb Chemical and Paper Company is the place to go for all of your janitorial and cleaning supplies and disposable paper products. You'll find great prices and great service, and they offer products in bulk. Family owned and operated for over 49 years, their friendly, helpful staff will assist you with all of your product needs. Webb Chemical and Paper is conveniently located at 2500 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Stop by and see them or call 704-482-4331. Check them out on the web at webchemicalandpaper.com. CF Moto is clicking on all cylinders during their clearance sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Law. Get financing as low as 0% and up to $1,500 cash back on CF Moto models. And check out the Suzuki DRZ 4S motorbike with financing at 4.99% for 36 months. And the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event is underway. Get 0% for 60 months or $3,000 customer cash back. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Law, online at ncfullthrottlepowersports.com. Sure, Kart Guys in Gastonia sells golf carts, but did you know they have trailers too? You better believe it. All kinds of trailers. Check them out at Kart Guys today. Utility trailers, landscape trailers, car trailers, even covered wagon and clothes trailers. No matter the job, Kart Guys in Gastonia has a trailer for it. And they are a U-Haul dealer too. Call 704-671-2050. Kart Guys Incorporated, 109 Crowders Creek Road off Highway 321 South Gastonia. Open 9 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Online at carguysinc.com. Like them on Facebook too. Leaf season is here. Don't wait. It's time to get leaf protection with one call to Gutter Guys. Remember, clogged gutters on your home can cause costly damage. Prevent it with a call to Gutter Guys in Kings Mountain. Remember, Gutter Guys for seamless gutters, gutter cleaning, metal and shingle roofing, commercial flat roofing, and storm damage repair. Call 704-879-4384. Again, 704-879-4384. For Gutter Guys, serving the area since 2003. Online at gutterguysconstruction.com.
And I think we're back now. Yes, we good. Thank you, Kevin, for getting us going there. Welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show here with Ken Link and Chip Carter. Thank you for tuning in. All right, Ken, we're running down on time. We got some of these games start at 7. I think we might have a pregame kicking up here, so we're going to real quickly go over some of these games. Let's look at the 1A real quick. We've got East Columbus at Robbinsville. That's the 5 seed versus the 1 seed. Ken, tell me what you think about that.
Well, East Columbus 3-8 record coming in. Robinson 8-3, and East Columbus is averaging 12 points a game, giving away 34. So I think Robinson's gonna have an easy game here. I think Robinson winning big by 35-7.
I agree. I think Robbinsville's going to hold serve. They'll win this one out. We've got this one broadcast. I think WAGY Waggy. Thomas Jefferson traveling to South Davidson. The Griffins taking on the Wildcats. That's the 2 and the 3 seeds in the 1A.
Well, Thomas Jefferson been up and down this year, but they are in the third round, 5-6 record. South Davidson with a fine season, 10-1. South Davidson averaging 31 points a game, only giving up 8. I think Thomas Jefferson is going to have a hard time at South Davidson. I think South Davidson win this one 21-10.
Jefferson struggled a little bit against tough defenses this year, and I think then South Davidson fits that bill. Ken, I agree with that. I think Davidson's going to win. I think this 1A is going to turn out to be Robbinsville versus South Davidson if I had to pick. So, all right, looking at the 2A, let's look at the local matchups that we've got. We've got Mountain Island Charter, the 14 seed, traveling to the Mountaineers of Mitchell for that matchup. Ken, you got any notes on that one?
The only game that one of the games that Murphy lost was to 5A AC Reynolds. They got a really good team. College School of Davidson 7-4 record. Murphy's number 1 seed. I think Murphy wins this one by about 3 or 4 touchdowns.
All right. Okay. Taking a look at South Stanley. Traveling up to Starmount. Starmount ended the Ironman season in Cherryville last week, as we were just talking about. South Stanley, though, they're on our power point standings. They've only given up 124 points defensively this year. So that might be – could their defense be up to the challenge to take on the Rams?
Well, it may be a low-scoring game because Starmount's only gave up 9 points per game this year.
Fair.
So, and both of them had averaged around 33, 34 points. So I think this is a close ball game. I think Starmount pulls it out, but it could be a 1 or 2 point win.
I think South Stanley gives them a scare, but I think Starmount's just got a little bit too much firepower. I realize I didn't pick the Mountain Island Mitchell game. I'm gonna go with Mitchell on that one as well. I'll go with the higher seeds there in the 2A. Mitchell and Starmount pull out the victories. All right, flipping over to the 3A real quick. We've got Lincolnton traveling to Mountain Heritage this evening. Let's see what the Wolves can do against the Cougars.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mountain Heritage, number 1 seed, 10-1 record. The only game they lost to 2A Swan County, which I don't know what happened there. So they had a lot of turnovers. Anyway, just a bad game. But they're about 80% rushing, 20% passing. They're going to run the ball. They may throw it 5 or 6 times, but not very often. 2 key players, Cason Jones, who's averaging 104 yards per game rushing, 11 touchdowns, also got 7 touchdowns receiving. Their best player also plays on defense. Also have another running back, Rodriguez, who's averaging over 100 yards rushing per game. So, and both these running backs break tackles. It doesn't have tremendous speed, but they're going to line it up and run it right at you. Lincoln, on the other hand, with the Lynch brothers, especially Rashad Lynch at quarterback, they're going to have a balanced attack. He's going to throw it a lot. He's going to run it a lot. And Lincoln's got a little more speed. So this is going to be a really close game. I tell you what, Mountain Heritage is a good team, but Lincoln's going to give them all they want, and I think Lincoln comes out of here with an upset win tonight, 28-22.
I don't think that's a bad pick at all, Ken. I think Mountain Heritage. I've used this comparison the past couple of weeks to talk about the Cougars because they remind me in the 3A version of Hickory. Everybody said they were supposed to have lost a lot this year. Okay, well, how much did they actually lose? Because they're still a pretty talented team. So I think the Wolves are going to have their work cut out for them traveling to Mountain Heritage. I think Lincolnton's going to give them a scare. I really do. I'm going to go on the other side. I am going to say Mountain Heritage holds serves as the 1 seed, and they do. I would not be surprised, though, to see this game go late in the fourth or maybe even go into overtime. But I'm going to pick Mountain Heritage to pull out the victory. But it would not shock me if you end up being right on this pick, Kim.
One thing I've noticed about Lincoln this year is they make really good halftime adjustments. They did it last week, only allowed a touchdown in the last half, and that may be a key to this game.
If they make the adjustments that Mountain Heritage can't keep up with, watch out for a hot second half for Lincoln, Ken. I like that thought.
Hey, guys.
Yes, sir.
I am going to break in for just a second, and we're going to go ahead and put Brent Pasco on WOHS, and then you guys will continue online, of course, and on WCSL till 7 o'clock, and on WCSL we'll have Burns. So I'm going to hit a button and hope all this works, sir.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so we'll kind of see what happens.
All right. They get switched over there. All right. Hopefully we're going to get ready to get the pregame going for the Shelby Mount Airy game. Brent Pasco and Coach Jeff Jones bringing that to you. So we're going to see if that hopefully if you're on the radio, you're not listening to me anymore. But
it looks like it's right on the video end.
All right, good deal. All right, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Calvin. That's why they're the bosses. That's why they make the big bucks. So that's why they tell us what to do.
That's right.
So, all right, then we've got the Dragons of West Davidson traveling to North Stanley. That was an upset. 12 seed travels to the 4 seed this evening. Dragons versus the Comets.
And I think North Stanley. Again, it's going to be a close ball game. Both of these are good squads. They both have given up about the same number of points and points allowed. But playing at North Stanley, who's been tough all year, their only loss was to South Stanley. I've got North Stanley winning this one in a close game.
All right, I'm going to go with the Comets as well. I think West Davidson, they've had a great season. They obviously had a good upset last week, but I think they're going to. Their luck's going to run. I say luck, but I think the season's going to finish up this tonight as North Stanley pulls out the victory. We've got Walkertown, the Wolfpack, the 6th seed. They travel to Eastern Randolph to take on the Wildcats. Ken, give me your thoughts on this.
Well,
one.
Walkertown averaging 46 points a game, have an excellent offense, only giving up 14. East Randolph's good defense, only allowing 9 points a game. I look for it to be a close game, but I think Walkertown will pull the upset here by about a touchdown.
All right, so picking Eastern Randolph for the upset, or excuse me, Walkertown for the upset. Eastern Randolph. I was trying to pull up their schedule real quick and see we had them last week. Who did they beat last week to make it to the next round? It was they beat Union Academy last week.
Didn't have a strong opponent last week.
Right? Yeah, kind of
3-7 last week.
Yeah, it was 43-7.
Are y'all ready for the Shelby Mount Airy game?
I'll pick Eastern Randolph. Then our very next. No, you timed that perfectly. Actually,
our
next game
perfectly. I was listening to Brent and Jeff on the pregame show.
Nice.
And Brent said, Jeff said that these two teams had never played each other either. Mm-hmm. So there's another matchup tonight that've never played each other. Now they're way further away than Crest and East Lincoln are. Right. Don't have the same middle school teams play each other, but. How about Jeff said, well, by our records, they've never played. But we met an elderly gentleman here in Mayberry, and he told us that they played in 1923, but he couldn't remember the score. So we don't know if that's true or not.
Wow.
So there's your.
Are we
inside-
sure that's not Otis from? Are we sure that's not Otis from the Griffin Show?
Who is this old guy?
There's a guy in Mayberry that swore to Jeff 102 years ago they actually played, but he couldn't find the score.
Was that Gomer or Goober? Which one was that? So we've got Earl Scruggs versus Andy
I
Griffith
have
tonight.
no idea if that's true or not, but folks, you can turn over to WHS 101.5 FM and listen to that game. If you're not in the radio or in your car, you can also listen to Jeff and Brent on the WHS channel on ktcbroadcasting.com. Just go there and click on the audio there. If you have any problems, want to know where the game is, call us tonight. Please call us tonight, and someone will talk us through it. Chip, well, JP will answer, and then Chip or I will talk you through it.
Yeah.
All right, Chip. Shelby and Mount Airy. I don't know if that 102 matchup that might have happened influences your picks tonight or not, Ken, but that's all I got for you.
It's not going to influence me at all.
Okay.
So I have no idea what happened there. Tonight, Shelby 10-3, 8-3 record going against Mount Airy, number 2 seed overall. 9-2 record. Shelby's averaging 50 points a game, giving up 19. Mount Airy is averaging 37, giving up 18. I tell you what, Shelby has turned it up a notch in the playoffs. And doing a little research on Mount Airy, it said they were vulnerable to the pass. That's not good news with Lane Farmer.
We got Lane Farmer as your quarterback,
yeah. They do have a running back who's averaging 178 yards per game. That's and 25 touchdowns. That's Tayshawn Martin. But Shelby had a good plan to stop Pinkerton last week.
Yep.
And I think they'll have a good defensive plan to stop Martin. I think Shelby wins this game by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, curious about Shelby. I think got a little snake bit with the strength of their schedule, and some early losses that they had this year. Trying to look and see. My computer just froze up on me. I think the loss to Lincolnton too kind of lingered in a lot of folks' minds. So all right. Oh, speaking of, we've got one of our experts on the line here, Brian Branch. I think we've got on the phone. Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was curious about what the odds was on the Crest game. I want to place a bet.
Oh, you want to place a bet? So,
yep.
Well,
yep. Ain't they getting paid?
What's that over under?
Yeah, what's over under? I got you.
So good deal. What's your thoughts on
I'm
that
headed
game?
to the Crest game.
Oh, good deal.
My buddies is going to South Point, so we'll stay in touch.
All right. Well, that sounds like
Keep
a plan.
the scores together.
Yeah, keep us posted, all right?
I will.
All right,
Thank you now.
Good luck to you. Appreciate
your show.
Hey, thanks so much. Thanks for calling in as always. We appreciate the support. So looking at Shelby's schedule here, we'll get that Crest game in just a second. Thank you again for the call in. But again, 2 of those losses that Shelby had to inter-county rivals. The Kings Mountain game was a little bit of a shock, and then only lost by 1 score to Crest, and then losing to overtime to Lincolnton. But I mean, look at the talent that Shelby's had. Look at the opponents that they've played, and they've been in pretty much every game. Again, maybe with the exception of the Kings Mountain game. Kings Mountain started to stretch late on that.
And they really impressed me last week.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Shelby on that one. So real quick, I know we're running out of time here. Let's wind down. Let's head over to the 4A real quick. We
think we got Brian on.
Oh, do we think we have Brian now? All right, Brian.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Hey, guys.
there we
What's
go.
up?
That's Brian Branch. What's going on, brother?
Just playing a little golf down at Pinehurst, taking the time out to call in for a few minutes. Y'all are nailing it pretty good.
Get off the phone. Don't rub in Pinehurst to me. I don't want to hear it. All right.
Made a nice little eagle today. Got a skin. I'm good.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you the first week of April and just be like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" Yeah, well, I'm down at Augusta. Take that. All right. That's gonna be my trump card. So, well, good deal. We just wrapped up. We're looking at Shelby Mount Airy. Mount Airy? Give us your thoughts on that game, Brian.
That's going to be a tough ball game. I mean, Shelby. You just once they get in the groove, I mean, you don't count them out. Whoever they're playing, in my opinion. So, like I say, they really handled East better than I thought they were going to. Kind of, flexed their muscle a little bit. Yeah. So if they're in a groove, like I say, I don't know. I expect a pretty good ball game. It could go either way. I'm going to take Shelby. I don't know what y'all took, but I'm taking Shelby.
I took Shelby, and so did Chip.
I think Shelby's the best. What is the 8-3 for the year right now? They're the best 8-3 team in the state right now.
Exactly. Like I say, once they get going, if they start smelling blood, it's like sharks.
I read that Mount Airy was vulnerable to the pass. When I saw that, I thought, wow,
Yeah.
Shelby going to win this game.
Yeah, that's a good matchup for Shelby then.
The one thing I'll say, and I've actually mentioned this to Steve Degree a couple of times during the post game, is we need this is going to be one of those. It's going to be a tough game for them. We've seen a lot of penalties that Shelby's had this year after the play is dead. Those unnecessary kind of extracurricular things. And you've got to keep your head about you. These are the types of opponents right here. If they start jawing at you, they start chirping in your ear, and it starts getting to you. You start going back. The officials always see the second guy. They always catch the second guy, and one bad penalty at the wrong time could cost you a game like this. So you've got to keep your head about you. I love what Coach Degree talked about Land being a real good influence on the guys, making sure they didn't make any dumb mistakes the past week or two. I hope they keep that mentality up. You don't want to lose a game over something senseless like that. So hopefully, I think Shelby keeps their head about them. I think they pull out the victory, and they keep going in the next round of the playoffs. So that's
I would hope Coach Wilbanks has got them straightened out on that this late in the year. I would think he's got that under control, I would hope.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you're right on that, Brian. Well, let's skip over to the 4A real quick. We've got Burns heading up to undefeated Brevard. Tom Sinifani, Matt Royster, they're going to have Brevard known for such a warm welcome to outside broadcasters. And I'm being a little facetious when I say that. But hopefully they treat them well this evening. I'm wishing the best for them. But the Bulldogs take on Brevard. Ken, give me your thoughts on that one.
Well, Brevard 11-0 on the season, averaging 41 points, only giving up 16. Of course, Burns averaging 40, giving up 21. Brevard's got a balanced attack. They're undefeated, but they won two of the wins were overtime games in their own conference. One against 5A Franklin, one against Pisgah. They have a receiver. He's named Tristan Thomas Wynn. Really going to be a hard guy to stop. He's caught 58 passes this year for over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. So Burns will have to try to watch him and Burns with that rushing attack. I understand they rested Max Davis last week because they didn't need him, and he'll be back this week ready to go. I think Burns is going to give him a fit, but I picked Brevard to win this one in a close game, 31-28.
What you got, Brian?
Well, like I say, I know Max is about 90%, and that's just inside info from some of the Burns crowd. So again, the 90% of Max is a pretty good ball player. And that's going to be key for them is keeping the ball out of their hands. Brevard does not allow many points a game as we talked about with Burns, but it's pretty daggum even matchup. You're probably shading Brevard at home. I'm gonna pick the Bulldogs to go up there and pull off a big upset.
That'd be a good pick there, Brian. I hope you're right about that. Max, Tom talked about it last week. He said he checked with Max last week. So you good? He's like, I'm good to go. We ended up not playing, but again, they were probably just trying to get him another week of rest, and hopefully that if the game didn't get out of hand or didn't stay close, that they were going to try to rest him. Looks like that paid off. Hopefully he's a little more recovered, the body's a little more rested and healthy. The young freshman, or is a freshman or sophomore running back that's been filling in for him, has not been too shabby from what I understand.
But, no, he's been. Again, it's all about the running game with them. Can they keep the ball out of Brevard's hands, control the clock, limit Brevard's possessions, and take advantage of that ground game and get touchdowns? They've got to punch it in.
If they can do that, I agree with. For Burns, I think their strategy tonight against Brevard's got to be death by 1,000 paper cuts. I think they're going to have to just keep pounding the ball, and like you said, keep Brevard's offense off the field. It's going to be a tall order. I'd love to see it. I don't know if they're going to have the firepower to do it. As Tom Sinifani's talked about it the past couple of weeks, this is not your average, or this is not your normal Brevard Blue Devil team that we've been used to seeing the past few years. This looks like a tough, stout team, and I think the Blue Devils will hold serve at home, and they'll show why they're the number one seed in that classification on this side of the state. So I'm gonna pick the Blue Devils to win. Next up, we got Mount Pleasant at Pisgah this evening. Brian, you got what's your takedown on this one?
Well, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of info on Mount Pleasant or Pisgah. Again, Mount Pleasant, where's that located? Where is that located?
It's just outside of Charleston. That's the one Mount Pleasant I know about. So I don't think it's the right one.
No, I don't think so either. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think we had this discussion last week. But, I mean, again, I'm going to take Pisgah just being at home. I'm going to shade them as the home team. That's basically all I've got for that one. So
that Mount Pleasant is located in eastern Cabarrus County, so just north or kind of northeast of Charlotte.
Yeah.
So, okay. And Kenny, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to go with Pisgah in a close game as well.
I'm a little upset with Mount Pleasant just because they defeated Tuscola last week, and if Tuscola had won, this would have been one of the best, if not the best, mountain rivalries in the state, taking on each other in the playoffs. Pisgah and Tuscola. That people especially up in Haywood County, they know that matchup. I would have loved to have seen that in the playoffs. I'm gonna go with Pisgah Bears and their mountain football pedigree, winning this game and doing it at home. So, all right, our next game, the local game, Maiden at Newton Conover. We've talked about these two teams a lot this year. Ken, give me your thoughts.
Well, they met a couple of weeks ago and went to double overtime at Newton Conover, with Newton Conover winning the game. But got some information. The Newton Conover quarterback has since broke his collarbone and will not play. Based on that one, I'm going to go with Maiden to win this one, 21-17.
Brian, I don't know about you. He might have just swayed my pick. What about you?
Well, I mean, I probably would have went with Maiden anyway, just because I've kind of shaded them a couple of times and they've stung me. I think I talked about that last week. They played everybody tight this year. Newton Conover, that is unfortunate. And that does swing my pick. I'll take Maiden in this matchup if the quarterback's out, for sure.
I agree with you, Brian. I was going to go with Maiden anyway just to win the rematch, but I think that just kind of solidifies it for me. I'm going with the Blue Devils to win this game. So Blue Devils win 2 of the games in the 4A for me this evening, Brevard and Maiden. Last game in the 4A that we've got, Kramer at High Brighton. Ken, I'll let you lead off.
Wow, another big game. I tell you what, Kramer has really impressed me the last few weeks. They are piling up the points. They had some injuries during the season, but I think everybody's healthy now, and they're really showing out, playing High Brighton, who's got a 10-1 record. The only loss was to East Rutherford. But I think Kramer plays in a tougher conference.
Yeah.
And, I'd look for Kramer. They're on a roll. I think Kramer's going to pull the upset. I'm going to Kramer to win this 35-31.
Yeah,
I'm kind of with you. If you look at comparing conferences and kind of, Shelby going up to East Rutherford and what they did, I mean, I'm leaning the same way you are. I'm thinking Kramer's probably got a good chance to go up there and take that game at High Brighton, in my opinion. I'm going to go with Kramer.
Yeah, I don't – Philip Russ and the East Rutherford Cavs, they defeated High Brighton. So, but with all of them aside, I think that 10-1 record is soft for High Brighton. To be honest with you, Kramer's big, they're strong, they are hard to move around. I think High Brighton's going to have their hands full, and I think Kramer's going to pull out the victory tonight for them. So those are our 4A matchups. Moving around, we got just a few more games here. I'm going to skip the 5A. Let's go down. Let's go over to the 6A real quick. We've got Dudley, the 11 seed in the 6A, traveling to the Green Wave of Ashbrook this evening. That's our number 1 team in our PowerPoint standings. Brian, give us your breakdown on Dudley versus Ashbrook.
Again, Ashbrook just coming in has continues to kind of be scary for me in some tougher matchups because they just don't put up a lot of points, but they don't give up a lot either.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the things that kind of even though they're one of the strongest teams in the area, obviously. They've just sitting on top of our PowerPoint poll or PowerPoints, and had stayed their entire year.
Yeah.
But they also just don't. Sometimes their offense sputters.
Yeah.
So they do cause me caution. I will still say again, 8-3 Dudley is coming in, is going to be an underdog in this game, and I'm probably going to go ahead and just take Ashbrook to win this game. But look for it might be closer than you think.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
I agree with everything you said, Brian. The thing about Ashbrook, they know how to win the close games.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
And the key is that defense. They're only giving up 10 points a game. So even when their offense sputters a little bit, that defense is hung in there, and I'm picking Ashbrook as well.
Ashbrook has done they're the Philadelphia Eagles of this area. They are doing they don't win pretty always, but they are doing what they need to do to win, and they can do it in a variety of ways. They've won big. They've won close games. They've shown that the close games they're not too the moment's not too big for them, that they're able to handle it. They've done it multiple times. They've done it against good teams, including Crest. I mean, they've shown their pedigree. I'm going with Ashbrook. That's a team that can make a deep run in the playoffs. I'm going with Ashbrook to win this matchup.
Yeah, that defense, as we've talked about before, defense wins it this late in the year.
They are punishing. They are absolutely punishing.
They are,
and they can almost single-handedly keep Ashbrook in a game. So I've got the Green Wave winning this game. Then we've got Kings Mountain traveling up towards Greensboro to Northern Guilford this evening, 10 seed versus the 2 seed. Brian, I'll let you lead off on this one.
Well, Kings Mountain kind of, backhanded me a little bit for not picking them last week. That's the only county team I did not pick. But Northern Guilford perennially has always been a great team. I remember some of their matchups with Crest, state championship matchups in the past. Kings Mountain, that's a long haul. I'm probably going to shade Northern Guilford for the win again, and kind of go against Kings Mountain one more time and see if they make me eat some more crow.
Yeah.
So,
how about you, Ken?
I'm going to go with Northern Guilford as well. And Kings Mountain, to be honest with you, the way they struggled late in the year, I'm surprised they made it this far, and I think their run ends tonight. I'm going with North Guilford.
Yeah, I really liked the Kings Mountain Robertson game last week. I thought that was a very even matchup. Northern Guilford 10-1. They've got they've had stout competition this year. I think this is too tall of an order for Kings Mountain to really do. I'm going to have to pick the Nighthawks to pull out victorious. But Kings Mountain, prove me wrong. I would love for you to prove me wrrong. I'm going to go with Northern Guilford, but if Kings Mountain prove me wrong, I wouldn't be mad at all. So those are our 6A games that we highlighted. Let's go back to the 5A real quick and look at these matchups. We'll start at the bottom. Oak Grove at Robinson. Oak Grove Grizzlies, the 10 seed against the Robinson Bulldogs, number 2. Brian, I'll let you lead off again on this one.
Well, Oak Grove, I think we all were consensus picks on them last week. Mm-hmm. Again, in their matchup last week. I'm just trying to pull up something quickly here about Robinson. Ken, what you got on? You got any notes on them?
Well, yeah.
10-1 record. 10-1 record. 264 yards rushing. 42-0 against North Davidson. This is going to be a tall order for Oak Grove. But Oak Grove comes in 9-3. It's going to be a good ball game. I'm going to probably just give Robinson the nod at home by just about 3 points.
Well, I'll go with Robinson as well. Had a common opponent last week. Oak Grove beat Northwest Cabarrus 36-7. About 3 weeks ago, Robertson played same team, Northwest Cabarrus, and won 56-6. So I'm going to go with them.
See that.
Yeah, Robinson's only loss this year is against an 8A team, Myers Park, 37-6. Since then, that was their first game of the year. Since then, they've rolled off 10 straight, including a good team: AC Reynolds, East Rowan, Salisbury, Concord, South Rowan, West Rowan, Northwest Cabarrus, the game you mentioned, Ken. Yeah, I just think Robinson's going to have too much firepower for Oak Grove. I'm going with the Bulldogs in that game. So moving up.
They've only allowed 8 points per game in their last 4 contests. So their defense is really stout.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I think we're going across the board there for us. All right, our next matchup, Franklin comes down the mountain. This is a little bit of a drive for them. Heading down the mountain to take on the Red Tornadoes of Hickory. This is the 6 seed versus the 3 seed. Ken, what you got?
Well, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Hickory, we know, can light up the scoreboard, but they give up a good many points too. They're scoring 44, giving up 15. Franklin's scoring 32, giving up 17. But Hickory playing at home will be too much for Franklin. I think Hickory wins this by at least a touchdown.
Brian?
Well, Hickory, like I said, we've talked about them, and they've overexcelled for what we thought was going to be a rebound year for them and a rebuilding year. But they've averaged, 31 points per game, allowing under 20 points per game in their last 5 contests. And they do have multiple come from behind wins this year if they have to do that. I don't think they're going to need to do that against Franklin here. I think I got Hickory at home. I think they're going to win it going away.
Yeah, Hickory at home, and again, I'm going to say the same thing, kind of wash, rinse, repeat what I said to Mountain Heritage. Everybody's talked about Hickory, and this is supposed to be kind of a down year. They lost so much talent last year. Well, I haven't seen it quite yet. Obviously, other than the opening week loss to South Point, which, to quote our good friend Coach Steve DeGree, they walked in to Belmont down 14-0 before that game even started. Going against Franklin, looking at Franklin's opponents, Franklin lost their opening week to Murphy. They've beaten some, and looking at the schedule, it's not the toughest schedule. The one opponent that kind of stands out to me, they did take Brevard to overtime. Now, Brevard did beat them to keep their undefeated record, obviously. But if that Franklin team comes tonight, this could be a lot more interesting game than we think it's going to be. But I'm gonna lean with y'all. I think the Red Tornadoes just going to be too much firepower, especially at home, and they're going to pull out the victory. I'm gonna skip the next game. We'll save that one for last for obvious reasons. But we got Monroe, the number 8 seed. They head into Belmont, down 14-0 already to South Point. Ken, what's your thoughts on that one?
Well, I agree with you. This Redbone offense, it's averaging 37 points a game, only giving up 14. And South Point's last few weeks have played very well. And I don't think Monroe has quite the athletes they normally have. They have a 7-3 record. South Point coming in 9-2. I think South Point wins this by about 10 points.
Hey, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, Monroe average allows about 19 points per game, scores about 23. This is kind of a really heavily shaded matchup to South Point in this case. That's a good draw for them. I think South Point probably wins this thing by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, South Point. They remind me of remember the Titans with that Redbone offense. They run 6 plays. It's like Novocaine. Just give it time; it always works. So that's I think South Point at home. That's going to be a tall order from Monroe. I'm picking the Red Raiders to win this one, and they move on to the next round. All right, and our last game that we're going to do the breakdown for, I've saved it for obvious purposes. This might be the game in the state tonight, Ken. I heard you say it earlier, and I would agree with you. Probably definitely the game of this side of the state, if not the entire great state of North Carolina. East Lincoln, the Mustangs come into Cleveland County and head over to take on our Crest Chargers, the Crest Chargers here at Cleveland County. Number 5 versus number 4 seed. What's your thoughts on this one, Ken?
Well, these two teams had never played before. However,
that's unreal to me. I heard y'all say that.
Yeah.
However, these two coaches, Lubowich and Lloyd, did play 3 years ago when East Lincoln come in and embarrassed Kings Mountain in a huge upset in the playoffs.
Yep.
On to the state championship. This is going to be a humdinger. I went back and forth on this thing about who I'm going to pick. I think Crest is the favorite because their defense is stronger than East Lincoln.
On paper, at least, yeah.
But East Lincoln can light it up, and they've been playing well lately. I got a lot of faith in Lubowich as a coach down there. I'm going to go with Crest and win it 31-28, but it could go either way. You got Eli Hamrick with Crest doing it, and you got Grant Lawless throwing to Dollar and those folks at East. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah. Brian?
Yeah, I think Crest has got a little advantage because, he has dealt with East Lincoln before. I think Crest has the athletes on the back end of their defense that should, cause problems for East Lincoln and not let them completely run free like they have in other games. And again, Crest defense on paper is better. I was interested in looking at the AI and seeing what it threw out this time. It's got Crest favored by 18 points, and that's not going to be the game. I would say at this point, I think I'm going to take Crest at home, and it could be a 3-point to a 7-point ball game. I would say 7 points by Crest.
Yeah, you just proved to me why AI is not quite what's all churched up to be there, Brian. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, I think tonight we're gonna see how good those defensive backs for Crest really are, and I think that's going to be a focal point for. I think that could be the key to the game. If they live up to that Division I recruit billing that we've been talking about so often the past few weeks, East Lincoln's going to have a hard time. But you're talking about a quarterback and receivers that are very comfortable with each other, and if they can find some holes in that defense, and East Lincoln can move the ball, watch out. I think Crest their defense is going to be able to get more stops than East Lincoln, frankly. Both of these teams, their offenses are impressive. Their offenses are almost carbon copies of each other in a lot, or at least in terms of.
Yeah, it is as far as the mix, as far as pretty balanced, both of them.
Yep.
But
they both have explosive passing attacks, but they can put the ball on the ground if they need to. So I think Crest defense. I'm going to go with what it looks like on paper. Crest defense looks like it can get more stops than East Lincoln's will. I do think it's going to be a close game, and East Lincoln, if they come in hyped up, and if their receivers again can get into a rhythm, this game could go again. I'd love to see it go into overtime. That would be just to be an exclamation point to this matchup. I am going to go with the Chargers on this one. I think Crest is going to pull out victorious. So all right, shouldn't
be any surprises here. I mean, these guys, they know each other, know what they want to do. Both teams do. I'm just leaning toward those athletes. That's where I'm going.
I
So.
tend to agree with you. Kind of the same reason I'm going with Shelby over in Mount Airy. I just think Shelby's athleticism is really going to be the difference.
I think they got more. I mean, Jackson Dollar's a great athlete.
Yes,
that's
yes.
one. You don't have three like him.
Right,
So
exactly.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, that's our picks there. Brian, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you breaking down, and I hit a hole-in-one for me or something tomorrow if you're still down there. So,
I'll send you a pic of a nice golf course. How about that?
How about you don't? How about next time you just invite me instead? I don't want a picture. So
we can do that too.
Good. You're good, man. So, any last thoughts, Brian?
No, guys. Like I say, look forward to following the post game show in the red zone. You guys do a great job. I enjoy sitting and listening to that. I do flip to some of the games, but I enjoy what y'all do on that. So I'll sit back and let's hear some results from tonight. It's going to be an interesting night.
Good deal, Brian. Appreciate it. Ken, any thoughts on your
Some
end?
big games. You got Lincoln, Mount Heritage, East Lincoln Crest, Shelby, Mount Airy. I mean, hey, it's some great football.
I'll steal a quote from Dennis Davis. Guys, tonight the playoffs start, and this is going to be things are going to get interesting. I'm excited about these matchups, and let's see what the local area does, and looking forward to some good matchups. And Brian, I appreciate your kind words. I know Will, Dennis, Coach Degree, Kevin, everybody, they appreciate your kind words. But guys, we talked about y'all last Saturday on the pregame show. Tom brought y'all up. He enjoyed working with y'all the one day we were on location at Cherryville. Ken, you and Brian, both of y'all have done a phenomenal job with the pregame show. Your prep has been outstanding. Appreciate your thoughts. Great inaugural year. I hope we can do it up again next year. Appreciate both of y'all being here and all the knowledge you've dropped on us. So yeah, and hopefully we get to do it again next week.
Look forward to it.
We'll definitely see you guys. I'll be back on Friday and enjoy some Pete's Fish Box.
Yeah, that's
right?
my man. Well, don't worry, we'll eat it all for you this week. No worries. If JP hadn't ate it all already, we'll be good. So, all right. Well,
all right, see you guys.
All right, thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. On behalf of Ken Link and Brian Branch, Kevin Hastings, I'm Chip Carter. That wraps up the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. It's football time. It's playoff football time in Western North Carolina. Enjoy tonight's games. We'll have the Red Zone coverage coming up here very shortly. Enjoy the contest tonight.